Hello, hello, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. If you guys can hear me loud and clear, type A1. Right. Hello, hello, guys. Hello. All right, all right. Okay. Thank you, Sabrina. Nice, nice. Thank you, everybody. Okay, technical stuff out of the way. Hello, guys. Those of you who are new to me, my name is Kenneth Wong, and I'm a consultant, trainer, speaker at Joyup Consulting Group. Now, how many of you here have gone through the 4 or 5 days Bazi challenge? Type A me. Did you guys enjoy it? A lot of sharing, a lot of information, isn't it? And congratulations on those of you who have taken the effort to submit your homework. All right. That's a very, very big step for your benefit. All right. Yeah, it was great, wasn't it? Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. All right. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, now today, this is a bit of a very special webinar where I'll be sharing a bit more life experiences based on the information being shared in the Bazi challenge. Okay, now there's a difference between learning Bazi through theory and witnessing real life examples to see the miraculous part of it coming true in real life, isn't it, guys? All right. So yeah, without further ado, I would like to bring my world of Bazi to you guys through real life examples and my own personal journey on how Bazi Academy saved my life. All right, guys. All right. Sure, Team Joy up. Let's bring up the slides. All right, guys. Okay, so just sit back, relax. Okay, you guys have had 5 days of theory, inspiration, great job, right? Great explanations, great sharing by Datuk Joey. So today, I'm just going to take a bit of your time, a short sharing session on how I bring Bazi into real life. Okay, guys. So I'm just going to start off today's sharing session, this webinar, with a Bazi guiding principle. How you do something is how you do everything. Okay, guys, let me repeat this. How you do something is how you do everything in your personal life. Okay. Why am I saying this? Now, I'm not sure how many of you feel the same way, but since young or since growing up to this very day, did you realize a very mysterious pattern in your life since young? You know, it could be, constantly having betrayals by your friends or the people that you love. Okay. It could be constantly living in fear whenever new adventures appear in your lives. Okay. How about, constantly feeling that, your life is just purely unlucky, right? Whatever that you're trying to achieve is just not happening no matter how hard you try. Okay. How about money issues? How many of you here, right? Money is never enough. No matter how much you earn, no matter how many promotions you have in the last 10 years, money is never enough. Right? How about bad relationships? No matter how hard you try, right? Every time when it's so close to taking the next step, right? The relationship is gone. All right. Or whoever you thought was going to be the right one, in the end, turns out to be the worst one. Okay. Or how about the all-time favorite of procrastination? How many of you feel this way? How many of you feel that there's this consistent weird pattern that keeps appearing in your life? Type of me, whatever it may be. It might be, constantly not having money, or when you have money, it just gets taken away, right? Somehow, no matter, you keep getting betrayed by the people you care about the most. For example, great friends, right? That you think that they're like true siblings, but then they'll betray you at the end of the day. All right. You feel that your life is just full of ups and downs, very unlucky. All right. Or basically, you just can't seem to find the right partner to start your journey in your marriage life. All right. So there is a particular reason why that is. And most of the time, we think that it's the external energies that are affecting us and thus allowing us to think that we are unlucky. Okay, I am going to reveal some truth to this, and you guys might be surprised. Okay, now let me change my slide. Oops. Now, okay, because it's a personal sharing by me, these are the three areas that I have been experiencing since young: betrayals, money issues. Money is never enough. Whenever I have money, it just gets taken away as quickly as the next day. All right. I always, after working for so many years, I have nothing much to show for. Okay. And I just feel that I am generally unlucky. Like I was born unlucky. All right. Bad things keep happening to me. Things can never be smooth for more than a week. All right. Somehow I just have this feeling since young. All right. And since young, even when I was a kid, I was always looking for an answer. Okay. Now, this is my chart. Okay. I've always been very generous in terms of sharing my chart because I think this is the best way for you guys to learn. All right. Now, if you look at your chart, right, I want you guys to pay attention to this particular area here. Okay. In the month pillar, right at the bottom, your hidden stems. Okay. What is that 10 gods over there? In this case, it is my rock wealth. How many of you can see that the rock wealth is highlighted in the blue box? Type a one. Okay. Type a one. Right. Yeah. So what is yours? Okay, what is yours? All right. Some of you might have one, some of you might have two, some of you might have three. Just pick the biggest one, the middle one or the biggest one. Type in the chat which 10 gods is in your month pillar in the hidden stems. Is it Rockwealth RW? Is it Friend F? Is it DW? Is it IW? Is it DR? What is it? Type in the chat. So at least I know that you guys know exactly where to refer to. A direct resource, friend, indirect wealth. Okay, excellent, nice, nice. All right, so you guys know exactly, all right, where to look at. Now, mine is direct wealth. Okay, now whenever I go through these examples, always remember the guiding statement, right? The way you do something is always the way you do everything. Okay, how you do something is always how you do everything. So what do I mean by that? The way I do things in life has to be compliant or in alignment with my raw wealth energy. Okay. So in your case, those of you who says IREGHO, a lot of 99% of the time when you do certain things that you want to create a desirable outcome or solve a problem, somehow will link back to your 10 gods. Okay, in my case, is my rock wealth. Okay, and if you look at your 10 profiles, all right, if you look at your 10 profiles, it does give you a certain percentage. Okay, guys, it does give you a certain percentage. In my case, it's 100%. Okay, guys, look at your own charts. Type in the chat. Okay, what's your percentage? It's very important. Okay, because I'm going to briefly introduce to you guys the healthy and the unhealthy range. Okay, if you can go to the bottom of the page and you go take a look at your 10 profiles, look at the percentage. Okay, look at the percentage of your 10 God. All right. In my case, it's the rock wealth. So I'm looking, 100%. Oh my goodness. All right. Wow. All of you are 100%. 96. Okay. All right. All right. 88. Okay. All right. Nice. Nice. Okay. Now, that's a brief guideline. Okay, the healthy range. Okay, in the Bazi challenge, Dr. Joey mentioned that the sweet spot is about 70 to 85%. That's the sweet range. Okay, that's according to Dr. Joey, right? But if you talk about the healthy and the unhealthy range, okay, the healthy range is about 65% to about 85%. That is generally the healthy range. Anything below 65% or above 85% is what we call going into the unhealthy range. Okay, it's either you're lacking a little or you have excessively too much. Okay, so those of you, right? Those of you who have just typed in the chat, right? So you guys would know whether you're healthy or unhealthy. Okay, so what do I mean? Right now, it took me, trust me, guys, it took me close to 10 years, okay, to understand what this means. Okay, because back in the old days, it wasn't clear, and Dato Joey didn't really teach this, because back in the old days, Bazi knowledge was being taught in the more traditional way, very unlike nowadays. Nowadays, you guys have the framework, right? He goes extensively into deeper explanations. The reason why he's able to deliver at such high value is because he has been listening to the feedback for the last, close to 3 decades. Okay, that's the reason why you guys can learn it so easily. He introduces frameworks and stuff like that that other masters around the world do not do. All right. So let me tell you what happened to me, right? Because back then I didn't have the framework. So it took me close to 10 years to learn what this was all about and how to deal with this. Okay. Now, especially those of you who are above 85%, pay very close attention. Okay. Firstly, I was like, rock wealth, right? And then, all I knew was 100% was too much. But back then, Dato Joey didn't explain what was too much. It was actually moving into the unhealthy range. Okay, okay. And what I discovered was, at 100% rock wealth, why was it so unhealthy? Because I was behaving and showing negative traits. That means negative behaviors. Okay, most of the time, it was going against my own benefit. Okay, so the very first thing about excessive rock wealth, okay, is that I was overly generous. Okay, so since young, right? I was, whenever friends needed help, I would be the first to raise my hand. Come, let's do it, bro. Let's do it, right? When I started going into society and making my own keep, right? I was earning my own keep. I was earning my own pay. Every time when we went out, I was the first to pull out my wallet and pay. All right, to the point. I mean, generosity was great. Okay, but overly generous is, touching the lines of stupidity. For example, I was constantly lending money out to people that I knew were not credible to pay back. All right. And they just, they didn't even say thank you. They just left and never appeared in my life again. All right. I spent thousands of dollars buying people meals, drinks, enjoyment basically in life, right? Movies, everything. You're right, including trips. Okay, because I was overly generous, and as a rock wealth person, I was a bit of a social butterfly. Okay, so that means I really appreciated the people around me. I really appreciated the value of friendship. Okay, but to my horror, I was the only one who felt that way. That's why I was overly generous. At the end of the day, I was taking on my friends' problems. I was taking on their debt, and eventually they enjoyed their lives, and I had nothing to show for at the end of the day. So this is called being overly generous. Okay, what else? Now, rock wealth people, some of you would have high rock wealth as well. Those of you who have high rock wealth are very bad at financial management. Okay, because another name for rock wealth is having fun. Okay, so those of you who have high rock wealth would realize that, you guys tend to spend quite loosely when you're having fun. Okay, whether it's socializing, whether you're having a good time, drinks on me, stuff like that. So it's pretty bad financial management. Most of the time you make money, but at the end of the month, at the end of the week, you have no idea where your money went. Okay, that's high that's high rock wealth. Okay, what else? I was a crowd pleaser. What does this mean? Means that I was more concerned about pleasing people, and that included people I didn't like. All right, I was so fixated that, I was so fixated about pleasing the people around me, to the point when I was close to losing my own identity and my own principles. That's what we call a crowd pleaser. That's why at a very high level of rock wealth, we also have a very strong tendency to self-sacrifice. Okay, that means we were very willing to sacrifice ourselves for the enjoyment and the happiness of others. Okay, which is very, very bad for our own benefit. Okay, because it's not balanced, it's very extreme. Okay, this is what 100% of anything does to you. Okay, and finally, we are very vengeful people. Okay, the reason why this is, see, is a bit contradicting. You're overly generous, you care about people so much, but you're also very vengeful. Let me explain. Rot wealth, another name for rot wealth is called goat blade. Okay, goat blade means it's a double-edged sword. Okay, in order to use the sword, I have to grab onto one edge, bleed, hurt myself to use the sword and stab you. Okay, that's called rot wealth. Okay, it's a double-edged sword. What does this mean? This means that, when it comes to helping others, okay, when it comes to helping others, right? We are overly generous and we go over and beyond. But there's a reason for that, because we have a certain level of expectations that when it's time for you guys to help us back, we expect the same level of intensity and generosity. But in life, not everybody is 100% rock wealth. So it's very common for people to not reciprocate the same level of intensity back towards us. Okay. So when we feel that, I do so much for you, I do 100% for you, and you only repay me with 50%, that is the time we get very angry. And that's the time we feel very betrayed and vengeful. Okay. So for the greater part of my life, I would dare say about 35 years of my life, I was constantly feeling betrayed. I was constantly feeling that I treat you so well. How come you don't, how come you are not grateful? For example, right? You don't respect me and all that stuff. So I get very angry for the first 35 years of my life until I learned about what rock wealth at 100% was all about. Then I started to intervene. Now, how did I intervene? All right. I intervene, number one, by understanding, number one, by curbing every single one of these extremities. How do you curb overly generous behavior? By setting some, basically, do not cross certain lines. All right. Have certain rules. Help to the point where it's reasonable and is logical. Do not touch the areas of stupidity. So even if this person does not repay you, it's okay. All right, that's how I did it. Bad financial management. Go and study about personal finance. All right, go and get yourself educated. For me, I went to I went to read Rich Dad Poor Dad to learn about cash flow, right? Stuff like that. So that was how I started to improve my financial status. Okay, crowd pleaser. Be more principled. It's okay to be a crowd pleaser. It's okay to want to feel accepted, but it's also okay to walk away. All right. For example, if you are in the company of bad people or people with different values that you have strong principles against, you can just walk away. You don't have to quarrel, just walk away. Okay. You can cut people off because as a rock wealth person, you have a very strong ability to cut ties. All right. So learn to filter based on your principles. And how to stop being vengeful. All right. One solution for rock wealth is give and take. Don't expect the whole world to see life the way you do it. All right. If people have a certain level of generosity and a different level of what is fair, right, just accept it. That's all. All right. So this took me 10 years, guys. All right. Because this was constantly fighting with my inner demons. All right. This is the importance of understanding your profile, right? Okay. Ignore the luck pillar first. Yeah. Ignore the luck pillar. Okay. But since you asked this, William, right? Luck pillar means your external influences. That means your luck pillar lasts for 10 years, right? So for that 10 years, your rock wealth influence, that means your behavior, okay, increases. Okay, William. So that's what it means. Okay. Direct wealth. Okay. Direct wealth, 100%, John, right? 100% direct wealth means you tend to be very, very bossy. Because direct wealth is like a manager. You insist that people follow your instructions. Okay. And you are a very stressed person because things have to, you live life based on high level of certainty. Okay. So that's why you're always stressed. My son is 88% rock wealth, but he does not have the traits you are describing. Not yet. Not yet. Wait for him to grow. Wait for him to grow into his own element. Okay, yeah, wait for it. Okay, normally this would appear when you start to make your own money. That's when you have full control over your level of generosity. Okay, 7 killings, 99%. 7 killings, overly aggressive, careless, reckless. Okay, reckless, no patience. All right, so very bad for investments because you are following your gut feel more than doing risk assessment. Okay, so this is all the bad traits. Eating God 100%, right? Overly idealistic. All right, overly idealistic. Okay, indirect wealth, very tempted by every single money making opportunity that crosses your path. Okay, because this is called temptation, whereby you and when it's very very high, just say indirect wealth is like 100%, right? Sometimes you don't mind bending the rules for a quick buck, so be very careful. Yeah. Interesting. 98% hurting officer, you're a diva. You're a diva. All right. You cannot you can't take criticisms too well, right? You want your way. All right, and you want people to admire you. You want constant validation from others, because hurting officer is like a performer. It's like standing on stage. The audience need to love me. Got it? Friend, 100%, right? Very how do you say, overly confident, very stubborn, very myopic. Okay, very myopic, because friend talks about you're very insistent in your own opinions, very opinionated. Okay, direct resource, 96%. Instead of analyzing, you analyze every single thing. You think and think and think and think, and you achieve analysis paralysis. IR, overly suspicious, overly imaginative, to the point where you believe what you imagine to be true. Okay, all right. All right, guys. Interesting. Interesting, guys. There you go. Right, there you go. So it's very important to first identify yourself. This was what Dato Joey was trying to do in part one of the parts challenge. That's why he went into identity. All right, he went into identity as the very first thing, okay, that he wanted to teach you guys. Okay, so it was very, very important. Okay, it's not to tell whether you're good or bad. It's to for you to pay attention to what to intervene, which areas to pay attention to, so that you know how to rebalance the not so good, and to improve the slightly lacking areas, to buff it to the sweet spot or the healthy range. Okay, remember, guys, whatever you're born with is just what's given to you at birth. There's always education, there's always nurturing, for you to improve yourselves. That's the reason why we don't accept what we are given. All right, we see which areas need improvement, and we just improve it over time as we get older, when we are able to accumulate experience and wisdom. Okay, guys. So this is very, very important for you to understand your profile. Okay, now, do you guys agree that apart from your main profile, the other 9 gods also have a certain influence on you? Yes or no? Type a yes if you agree. Right? Yeah. Right? Definitely, right? So what happens is, your first step is for you to understand your main profile, because that's how you do everything. Okay, guys, that's how you do everything. But if you move on from your main profile and you look at your subsequent profiles, some of them would be in the healthy and unhealthy range as well. Some of you might be missing a few. All right, most of us would miss out 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. For example, it's not so common. There are, but it's not so common to have all 10 normally. All right, because life is not perfect. Okay, even those of you who have 10, all right, a lot of times it falls into the unhealthy range, right? Either excessively too much, or grossly lacking, for example. Correct? So these are the areas that, that's why life is constant improvements. Okay, so that's the true importance of the 10 gods, isn't it, guys? Okay, so this was how I came to terms with myself after suffering for 35 years of emotional disappointments. because I saw life as, if I help you 100%, you're supposed to help me back at 100%. If I give a crap about you at that level, you're supposed to, reciprocate the same amount of love and concern for me. But over 35 years, I was constantly disappointed because I was, reality of life smacked me across the head. Okay. Yeah. All right. All unhealthy rage, Maureen. All right. Right. A lot of work to do. Okay. A lot of work to do. Now, do not worry, because you see, the thing is, before we learn about the 10 gods, before we learn about Bazi, right? These are our tendencies, the influences in our lives at birth. But once we learn about Bazi, we can convert these tendencies into natural talents. Okay, for example, right, when I learned about Rock Wealth, the first thing I realized, oh, Rock Wealth is about partnership. So instead of expecting people to repay your generosity, why don't you just split the profits? All right, why don't you just split the profits? Okay, DO, direct officer, is about systemization. Okay, systemization, Emma. All right, if you have 100%, DO means you will show signs of breaking the system. That means you know the system too well, to the point where you try to go around the system, for example. If rock wealth is zero, it means that you don't really like socializing too much, right? And you do not quite appreciate the concept of partnership or a win-win situation. Okay, Rista? Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. So you see how important it is to understand all 10 gods. All right. Because it does have some level of influence over your behavior, and it does explain certain levels of expectations. Because your expectations will determine the amount of happiness and disappointments in your life. Do you agree, guys? Type a yes if you agree. All right. No expectations, no disappointments. Fulfill expectations, happiness. Unfulfilled expectations, right? Disappointments. Isn't that true? Type a yes if you agree. There you go. There you go. There you go. You see? There you go. Right. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Next one. Now, all right. So Dr. Joey was going through the 5 catalysts that leads to disruptions. Okay. Now, many years ago, when we were doing this in the old days, right? We didn't know that these were disruptors. we just go clashes. Oh my god, these are clashes. Destructions. Oh, that sounds bad. All right, punishments, please don't punish me. Harm, oh my god, leave me alone. Combinations, woohoo! We love it. Combinations are good. All right. So that was how the old students used to, that was the impression, okay, that most students used to have. Okay. But today, all right, Dato Joey is very clear. He said these are disruptors, these are 5 catalysts that leads to disruption. Okay. And he further went on to give you this formula. The 5 catalysts, that means again the clashes, destructions, harms, punishments, and combinations, together with the 10 gods. It will reveal details of the events that comes into your life for the rest of your life. Okay. And these events could be opportunities, or it could be problems that it can lead to breakthrough and a breakdown. Okay. Now, today in this webinar, I'm going to show you how it looks in real life. Okay. Who's ready? Type a me. All right, type a me if you're ready. Okay, I'm going to show you, because I think the best way to learn is to show you how it looks like in real life. Then you can relate it back to the theory, and things become really, really clear to you guys. Okay, so let's go. So how did I come onto the scene? Okay, now many years ago, I was just like one of the normal students. Okay, I wasn't even a student. I was just like an attendee in the feng shui and astrology seminar every single year. So you only saw me once a year. And it was a great event for the whole family to participate in just before Chinese New Year. So it was like, it's like a nice family event that we could just go and listen to Dr. Joey's jokes, understand the 12 animal signs, who was lucky, who was unlucky, who was going to die, who was going to get rich, stuff like that. I was just one of those. Okay. So since young, I've always been very curious about the unknown, right? I always knew there was there had to be a system, there had to be a study, right, for me to tap into the universe. Because back then, as kids, right, we all wish that we had superpowers, right? So I was one of those, right? So when I discovered Dato Joey through a recommendation from my uncle, I was like, oh my God, this guy is fun. He was much younger, so he used to make fun of mother-in-laws. And, that was before he got married. So those jokes stopped when he got married. Yeah. So every year, all right, I would buy certain books, all right, and then I would just read about it just for fun. Okay, just for fun. I did not take it up seriously until about, I would say, 2016, after following him for about 8 years. All right. What got me started? No idea. But somehow deep inside my gut, I knew that I had to learn this. For whatever reason, no idea. But I had to learn this. Okay. So back then, this was around 2015, 2016, if I'm not wrong. That was when he just launched a brand new program. It's no longer available now. Okay. It was called Grow Rich with Bazi. Okay. Those older students would know this. Okay. Grow Rich with Bazi. All right. That was one of the earliest online Bazi wealth program. Okay. No longer available. Okay. Now I bought that program. Okay, because back then I was running my family business, and we were in the oil and gas industry, and things were not looking too great. Okay, it was not looking too great. So I was like, I was constantly looking for answers. No one could help me. I was going around asking the seniors, the advisors of the industry. No one could help me because this was a global phenomenon. The entire industry was going down. It was just a matter of time before, before Armageddon came. All right. So back then, in order to save the company, my entire family stopped taking salary for over a year just to keep the cash flow going. So can you imagine not having any cash flow for one whole year? We were eating into our bank accounts, right? So, after working for 10 years in the family business as a managing director, imagine this, right? Managing director, I only had about $5,000 left in my bank account. Okay, because I did not have pay for over a year. When Dato Joey first launched a standalone program called Grow Rich with Bazi, it was selling at USD 1997. Guys, if you were me, would you buy? You only had $5,000 left in your bank account. Okay? Would you buy? Right? No answer is wrong. Okay? No answer is wrong. But because I was a 100% rock wealth person with very bad financial management, I bought. Right? That was recklessness on my part. Okay, so I cleared half my remaining money and I bought. All right, not because I love Bazi that much. Back then, I did not have that level of appreciation for Bazi, but somehow deep inside my gut just told me go, and I have a pretty big gut. Okay, and basically the gut just told me go and buy this. There's some answers in this program that can help you, right? So I just followed my gut and I bought it. And I just, while other people were spending their weekends, meeting friends, socializing, having drinks, I was at home closing my door and just listening to Dato Joey all weekend. All right. And I was repeating the lessons. Okay. Again, where was this leading me to? No idea, guys. No idea. Just be very truthful to you. Okay. No idea. So what happened? In 2017, okay, my worst nightmare came, right? Now I only had $2,000 left in my bank account. Okay. Back in the old days in oil and gas, right? When we face a drought, normally it recovers after 3 to 4 years. So that was what we thought. But this time around, it was different. Okay. It was 2017. Okay. This is my chart on the left. I was going through the snake 10-year luck pillar, and it was the year 2017, which was the year of the fire rooster. Okay, the year of the fire rooster, guys. Okay, I remember this very, very well, and I don't think I can ever forget about it because this was the time when I went through the most immense pain. All right. So what happened? All right. So like anybody else, the beginning of the year, just before Chinese New Year, I went to Dato Joey's FSA, Feng Shui and Astrology seminar. And I realized, oh my goodness, right? Oh, the rooster and the snake, right, forms a semi combination called the Rockwell of energy. Wow, it's a combination. It has to be good. All right. I know those of you guys who are very new to this and you're not used to, don't worry, just hear my story out. Okay. Leave the technical side. Just ignore the technical side, right? So, oh, combinations, fantastic, right? I was like, yeah, it's gonna be a great year. Finally I can breathe. Okay. I thought that this was the year that was going to turn my family business around. All right. Oh, and the three harmony combination, all right, combined with my month pillar. My month pillar represents my business. Wow, right? I was excited. This is going to be a great year, right? Combinations are going to be about opportunities, collaboration, and all that stuff. So I was looking forward to the year. Yeah. Then it was talking about destruction. Destruction means, sudden changes, right? That according to Dato Joey, things were going to happen very quickly. So I was like, wow, opportunities, and they were going to come to me fast and furious. I was like, yeah, all right. Finally, I waited for a very good year. Okay. And in the hour represents what I have to do, products and services, and he also formed another three harmony combination or a semi combination. That means a lot of people were willing to buy my stuff. This was going to be a year with great sales. Okay, so I left the feng shui and astrology seminar a very happy person. Okay, so I was looking forward to the year. I was like, yeah, 2017 was going to be a breakthrough year. All right, it was going to be a great year, hard to forget. Okay, hard to forget, right? Boy, was I right? Yeah, it was hard to forget. In 2017, okay, the global oil and gas industry went into one of the worst industry crisis, all right, in the last 100 years. It was the worst crisis to happen in the last 100 years. Okay, in the last 100 years. Okay, now, a lot of my clients were listed companies, internationally listed companies with, it was worth close to a few $1 billion in net worth. Okay, net worth. All right. I lost 80% of those people in 48 hours. All right. I only knew about their declaration of bankruptcy in the newspaper. Okay, and the whole world was trying to recover some money, but of course no one could get a single cent because they were under liquidation and they were going through legal proceedings, and those of us who were waiting for payment got a rude shock of our lives. Okay, now for me, I was dealing, most of my clients were listed companies, so 80% of my clients declared bankrupt in 48 hours. Imagine that, guys. Now, did I do anything wrong? No. Did I practice financial, were we reckless in spending money? No. Were we practicing due diligence? Yes. Okay. Were we practicing basic financial controls? Yes. We did nothing wrong in our business. All right. But yet this happened to us. All right. So cash flow was non-existent. Our sales all dried up. All right, zero cash flow subsequently for multiple months while our overheads were still running. I still had stuff to pay. I still had repayments for my factory, right, and all that stuff for my industrial property. All right, bank accounts were going close to zero. Okay, bank accounts were going to close to zero. Now my situation was not unique. In fact, everybody around the world were facing similar situations. All right. Everybody was throwing lawsuits around, but no one was getting back any money, and more money was wasted on lawsuits. All right. Um, so, and what made it worse was that because of the nature of the entire industry, banks are going to start looking at their clients and they are going to tighten, okay, conditions on all of their clients who are under the same category of oil and gas. Okay, so I had two banks chasing for repayments when I was very timely on my repayments. They just told me that, yes, you're very timely. However, you belong to the oil and gas industry. We have to crawl money back as much as possible. So I'm sorry. Okay, because as your lenders, we call the shots. All right. If not, we are going to file Okay, we are going to file for legal proceedings and we are going to force and liquidate all your assets. Can you imagine that you are fully compliant and yet this is happening to you? All right. So this was the time that, my whole family was still staying under the same roof. All right. So we were basically, when we went home, no one spoke to each other. The entire situation at home was very tense, was very gloomy. All right. We took over this business when my dad passed away from blood cancer. All right. So as much as we could, we were trying to hold on to his legacy. So there were a lot of emotional attachments to this business as well. Okay. So, but we were being chased by banks and everything was going dry, right? So what happened? Okay, I looked at my chart, and when I thought that it was going to be a fantastic year for me, all right, I looked at the rock wealth energy. All right. The rock wealth energy in the old days, it means an energy of losing money. But it was a combination. So I thought it was opportunities coming in. But this energy triggered the rock wealth energy. That means it triggered a money losing energy for me. And this was happening to my family business. Okay, this was when everybody, my entire family, just went into the dark. We just had to experience the darkest moments. All right, we had no more money in the bank accounts. Right, we had no money to pay the staff. Right, two banks were chasing after us. Right, we were on the verge of losing everything that we had. Right, including the house. Okay, we were at breaking point. So what did we do? All right. Now, because I was the managing director, I was the leader of the business. All right. So everyone looked at me. Every day, my elderly mom would look at me and say, "Have you thought of a solution?" Okay, this was your dad's blood, sweat, and tears. Have you found a solution? And when I said no, she just walked away. Can you imagine? This is the same scene repeating every single day for over a month. Okay. So what did I do? Okay, what did I do? Okay, I looked at my chart again. Okay, and because I remember I took up Grow Rich with Bazi, all right, and I bought the 5 Bazi books from Datuk Joey. No one was there to help me. I only could depend on those books to look for some glimmer of hope. Could I find an answer? No idea. But that was all I could. So I flipped through the 10 Gods book, all right, and I found one word that was called partnership. All right, that was called partnership, and I went through certain techniques that was available in certain modules of the program, and this was what I did. All right, I just, when I was alone in my room, I devised a plan and I went out. Okay, I went out based on the techniques and the information that I learned from Grow Rich with Bazi program. I went out and I successfully raised $750,000 in 2 weeks. All right. Why was I able to do that? Because partnership, give and take. I was able to give them something in exchange for their funds. All right. And how did I successfully raise $750,000? Because part of the program had a certain module to teach me where to find my investors. Did it work? I had nothing to lose, right? So I went out to try. I successfully raised $750,000 in 2 weeks. I paid off both banks. All right, I paid off all creditors, eliminated all liabilities. Okay, I preserved the capital that my dad put into the family business. Whatever existing stock, I consigned it to my long-term supplier or long-term working vendor. All right, and I said that you don't have to pay me anything. All right, you don't have to pay me anything. When you sell, then you pay me. It was a deal. I struck a deal with him so that I don't have to pay extra money for storage fees. All right. And I was free to start new business or enter new markets. All right. So what I did was I went out, I used the techniques I learned from the books and the only online program that I could afford. And I went out to raise $750,000 in 2 weeks, paid off everybody, exited the company, and protected my family from a potential bankruptcy. Guys, who likes the story? All right. Who likes the story? Type a me. Okay. All right. Those of you who are part of the, if any of you here are part of the old students, all right, you should know this program and you should have seen me on stage sharing my story. All right. Now the thing is this: that program, Grow Rich with Bazi, is no longer available. Okay, because it was one of Dato Joey's most successful program that has impacted multiple lives since 2016, 2017. So that was, but it used to be a standalone program, and I paid US 1997 for it. Okay, it was a $2,000 program. Today it is called Joy Yap's Bazi Academy Classic. All right, Bazi Academy Classic. Now, they did not pay me if I sell anything tonight. Okay, because I am not paid advertising. I don't earn a commission if you guys sign it at all, right? I'm just doing my own personal validation endorsement of this program that saved my family's life. Okay, now how did I do this? It was from this particular module called Raising Capital. This was the information that triggered my strategizing, okay, that allowed me to raise $750,000 in 2 weeks, guys. How many of you would like to learn this? Okay, not saying you have to use it right now, but how many of you would appreciate being equipped with this knowledge and this technique? It's right here. It's in the program. Okay, it's in the program since 2016. Okay, all right, and now it's called Joya Sparks Academy. How does it work? Right, attend the course. All right, you will know how it works. Basically teaches you where to look for your investors. Okay, it basically teaches you where to look for your investors, where to look for money. Okay, those of you who do not need to look for money, you can use the same techniques to look for to know which areas to target your sales efforts in. Okay, because it's also going after money. Okay, it's only one module out of 14 modules, guys. All right, now rock wealth at 100%, correct? But because I learned about the 10 gods, all right, through the books, all right, I realized, oh, 10 gods is also about deal making. And one of the famous guys in the world for deal making, and I mean being reached through deal making, is Donald Trump. All right. It's about sharing resources. It's about what you have combining with what I have for us to go and pursue this together so that we can share the benefits, sharing resources and sharing benefits. Oh, then I realized further that, oh, rock wealth is about collaboration. It's all about sharing. It's not about, just earning everything on your own, right? And then, oh, finally, I realized the essence of rock wealth is to create a win-win situation. So when I went out to fundraise, these were the four things I was focusing on. This were the four guidelines that I used to present my fundraising, idea that I proposed to the investors. Okay, right. So this is also the same energy, rock wealth, but I was changing the rock wealth negative influence into the rock wealth talents. Guys, 10 gods. The deeper you understand how you do something is how you do everything. I'm going to keep repeating this statement, okay? Now, how I turn setbacks into success with Bazi. Now, when I got out of bankruptcy, or the potential bankruptcy situation, I saw my family smiling again. My brother was laughing with his wife. My mom had my mom had a smile on her face again while watching television. I just locked myself in the room and I cried for half an hour from the 8 months of accumulated stress and pressure and desperation. That was the way I celebrated my success. That was the best cry I ever had in my entire life. Okay. And then I celebrated my success by sleeping for the next 48 hours. Okay. For 2 days, I just slept. Okay. Because there was so much was drained out of me, so much was taken out of me from the 8 months of strategizing, panic, desperation, emotional turmoil, everything. All right. It was my entire energy was just depleted. So I just slept for 48 hours. I didn't have a business to go back to. So what's the rush, right? So I went to recover. All right, I went to recover. Now, of course, this was a much younger and slimmer version of me, right? And what happens was, all I did was I wrote a thank you letter to the Joy Up team. And the letter was picked up, and I was invited to speak on stage in 2018, I think, if I remember correctly, in 2018, all right, in Singapore. And this was the live event of the Grow Rich with Bazi program, the standalone program, okay? And I was one of the speakers to be invited on stage, and I was sharing my story, okay? Now, after sharing my story, Team Joy Up was very generous, and they extended an invitation to me to join their apprenticeship program. Okay, in fact, one of their top management members approached me and say, Kenneth, why don't you join us? The fact that you can do this, I believe that you can add a lot of value to the community. You can provide a lot of guidance. What do you think I did, guys? What do you think I did? I said no. All right, I said no, not because I was arrogant, but for for one very important principle of mine, I wasn't sure whether my success was a fluke of luck or whether I really knew what I was doing, because it was only one incident. It was a huge incident, but it was only one. Unless you can do something consistently, then I think you are pretty much confident that whatever you do actually works. Do you agree, guys? All right. Because back then, after I went through a very desperate life and death moment for myself and my family, I knew that my all the potential future clients who are coming for a consult might also be facing a life and death situation. And if you were there and you were not providing the answers for them, I think you're not going to live with yourself, because a lot of families might get destroyed because of you being a fake consultant. That was the reason why I said no. Okay, because back then we had no such thing as what the life atlas. We did not have a framework. We had nothing. All right, back then, arts and knowledge was delivered in the most traditional form, in the dry, theory conceptual way. All right. Concept one is, this is called the clash. What does it mean? This is combination. What does it mean? This is the 10 gods. What does it mean? That's it. All right. It doesn't say how are you going to apply it. It doesn't say, there's no framework. There's no navigation, compass. There's nothing. All right. So in the old days, Dato Joey always said the best way for you to learn is by doing 200 to 300 consults. Through your journey of doing close to 300 consults, you will start to develop your own way of consulting. In the old days, that was how he taught us. Okay, he is still recorded on video. Okay, back then it was a tape, all right? So, so basically, that was how he taught us. So after I said no to the management staff, what did I do? For the next 2 years, okay, for the next 2 years, I used the techniques I learned in dynamic analysis, annual forecasting, and monthly forecasting, all right, to do 300 to 400 free consults. Free. You know why free? Because if you don't collect money, even if you read it wrong, people can't blame you for it. Agree? Agree, right? If you collect money, people have expectations. If you do it for free, even if you're not accurate, people are like, it was for free. I didn't pay anything for it. It's okay. All right. If people start to yell at you, all right. If people start to yell at you, right, you say you didn't pay anything for it. Correct. So it was more forgivable. Okay. That was how I dealt with my fear. All right. But however, I did the readings using deep diving, the 10 gods part 1 and part 2. Okay. Back then, remember, it was delivered in the traditional form. But as much as I can remember, I can remember the 10 gods based on theory. In real life, I wasn't too clear about what it meant. All right. Well, because I I don't have the intelligence star in my chart, so I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. All right. So it took me a while to learn stuff. All right. But because of my motivation and what I went through, I was very motivated to find out more about the 10 gods. So in that 300 to 400 readings, the 10 gods became clearer and clearer and clearer to me. All right. So when I did the 300 readings, it was for me to gain clarity. It was not for anything else. Okay, it was not for anything else. And after doing close to, I would say 365, the last time I counted was about 365 charts or readings, right? Then I sort of became a bit more confident because I started seeing a pattern. I started seeing consistency in understanding. Okay, then I started to be more confident in doing consults, and I started to develop my own consulting framework that I'm comfortable with, that has proven to work. All right. So that was what we had to do in the past in order to learn this. All right. Along the way, because I wasn't making money, all right, I was just pursuing something that I had interest in. All right. While doing this 300 to 400 readings for free. When you do free readings, right, you have a lot of clients. So 300 to 400 clients I could have completed within 2 years. All right. Within 2 years. Now, along the way, while I was doing my free consults, a lot of people heard about my fundraising story and how I got my family out of bankruptcy. Okay. So, before joining the Joy Up group, right, I was thinking, okay, if I can do this one time, and if I'm correct about the way I do Bazi, I should be able to repeat this success, isn't it? Okay. Rob Wealth being Rob Wealth, I was one of those more ambitious kind. So, I do not just want to raise $750,000, because when I went to explore Rob Wealth a lot more, the ultimate Rob Wealth, in the words of Datuk Joey, was IPO. Okay, was IPO. All right, getting listed, because getting listed was all about fundraising, asking investors to put money in and then to share the shares, and then eventually growing the business into a multi-billion-dollar company. Okay, so that was the ultimate money making way for Rock Wealth. I heard that from Datuk Joey in one of the free seminars, for example, right? So I was like, interesting. So I went to take up courses on fundraising. I went to take up courses on, how people IPO, how people design IPOs and stuff like that. Remember what Dato Joey says? You can do the easy way, or you can put in effort to aim for something higher. Okay. Nowadays, he tells you that. Back in those days, no one told me that. I was just being reckless. Okay. I was just being reckless and not too beneficial for my own good. All right. So I spent a bit of money again. Okay. I made some money from small consults, but I took all the money and I threw into attending courses on how to fundraise. Okay. So one of my friends came to me a long time ago, right? They came to me and said, Kenneth, I heard about you knowing fundraising. Can you help my boss? I'm like, this is interesting. Help your boss how? Right? What I realized was his boss was a trading company dealing with all this self-adhesive luggage tags. For those of you who travel, your self check-in counters, right? You actually scan your passport, and the kiosk actually uh, 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 pushes out the self-adhesive luggage tags for you to check in, right? So he was in this business in the around 2019, if I'm not wrong, around 2019, before COVID. All right. So I was like, how? So when I looked at the boss's business, I was like, okay, how would you like me to help you? Okay. Now the boss knows this China factory that can produce this technology at a very low cost. And my friend's boss, the trading company, was trying to fight this market leader who was worth millions of dollars. And, there was no way of killing off this market leader. So he was like, Kenneth, I heard you do this. Is there any way you can help my boss? Again, guys, what was the guiding statement? How you do something is how you do everything. So I'm like, why are you guys even fighting? Okay, so I took up this project because I had nothing to do, right? I took up this project, and the first thing I did was, since you are buying and selling, you are in no man's land. Okay, meaning neither do you have the manufacturing power of the factory, neither do you have the influence over the market. You are just a middle person trying to make a quick buck, right, by buying and selling. So what must you do? So what happened was the boss flew my friend and myself over to Turkey in 2019 to join an exhibition where we were supposed to meet this market leader. Okay, so when we met this person, right, this person is German, right, 2 meters tall. All right, I could not stand too close to him because I'll be talking to his nipples instead of to his face, right? So I was standing further away and I was trying to explain to him, hey, listen, we are your competitors. We are selling exactly the same product as you. Okay. However, we don't believe in competing. You guys have done well in accumulating your market share. But I would like to give you a proposal. We represent the China factory that can reduce your costs by 70%. How would you like to reduce your cost by 70% and without having an additional extra client, you can improve your bottom line or you can improve your profits by at least another 50%? Would you like that? That was what I did. I was proposing to him using the rock wealth approach. This was the time he took one step closer to me and started putting his arms around me. Take a seat, my friend. Let's talk further. All right. So we went through the technology, and the German guys realized that our technology was more advanced than them, and we were producing at 70% lower cost than them. So if they wanted to go into a price war with us, they would have died. But I say no, let's not fight. That's stupid, right? You maintain your market. We just supply this to you, and we'll put your label, we'll white label. That means we'll put your brand on our product. All right. And they say, oh my God, that is a great idea. So, true enough, we flew back to Singapore and we made a connecting flight back to China. And when I presented to the China traditional Chinese boss, right, he was like, so what good news did you bring us? All right. I said, well, would you like 1/3 of the world's business from US, Middle East, and Europe? All right. He was like, how are you going to do that? So when I told him what I proposed, he said, oh my God, I like that. All right, I like that. Okay. So they have an additional 1/3 of the European business, and both of them are willing to work with the Singapore company. So suddenly, all right, what was our value? All right. So the Europeans were not comfortable dealing with Chinese companies, and Chinese companies had communication issues with European companies. So, as a Singapore position, we were bilingual. We can speak Mandarin, we can speak Chinese, and we can speak English. All right. And we could also attack the Southeast Asian market. So, what I was proposing was this, combining the China market, European market, and the Southeast Asian market. All right, three of us combined, we were going to form a holdings company, all right, with a rough revenue of $700 million per year, US dollars per year, profit about $300 million per year conservatively. And I spoke to one of one of my investment banker friends, and he gave a rough valuation of about $2.4 billion. Guys, would you like this? This is called creating wealth out of nothing. This is taking what you have and taking whatever the China guy has, creating value out of something that we don't have. All right. And this became a valuation of 2.4 billion US dollars, guys. This is called rock wealth. Type a me if you like this. Can you see this is what Dato Joey is talking about? The same 10 gods, but the playing field is much higher. This is called breaking through. Okay, having breakthrough opportunities. Okay, same energy. Okay, same energy, rock wealth energy, same. Okay, all right. Okay, so this is the same rock wealth energy. So this is how important your 10 gods are. All right, your level of understanding. Okay, and the sky is the limit, guys. All right, and the traditional masters don't like rock wealth because rock wealth means losing money. Okay, but the way I understand it, after doing close to 400 charts and seeing my life going to hell and back, I realized rock wealth is all about sharing and collaboration. You like, huh? You see, right? So it depends on your playing field. That's how you achieve breakthrough. Okay, now of course, now when I went back to the Singapore business owner, okay, my friend's boss, do you think he'll be happy? Most people would say that, of course, you'll be over the moon. Okay. But guess what happened? Because uh, instead of being happy, he sacked me as a consultant. All right. Because his understanding of making money is buy, sell, make some profit so that he can siphon out of the company and spend it for himself. When I was doing at such high level, he could not comprehend, he could not understand. So he felt that he was losing control. So when you panic as a business owner, you sack your threat. Can you imagine I built a US $2.4 million plan for him and everybody was in agreement. He was the only idiot who did not see where this was going. He sacked me. So I was jobless again. Guys, how you do something is how you do everything. Remember this. Okay? This is how powerful your profile is. Okay, guys? Okay. So I was jobless again. Okay. So I was like, okay, so now I'm a bit more convinced. I did close to 400 charts. Okay. I got my family out of a potential bankruptcy. I even close to nearly executed this $2.4 billion holdings company. Okay. And this was all before COVID. Okay. Now, so what was I going to do again? Because now I'm jobless again. Right. That was the time. Okay. So again, right, the 4 areas: deal making, sharing resources, collaboration, and win-win. Guys, that was I followed the same guidelines, isn't it? But it's just at a higher playing field. Okay. So again, then after that, I was like, okay, so which part? Okay. Now, in the Bazi Academy Classic, I use Bazi career options, raising capital, and expanding your capacity to formulate a collaboration plan to execute an IPO strategy based on my friend's boss's Bazi chart, not my chart. Not my chart. But because I was spearheading the entire design, I was using my chart the way I do things. But I was using the information of the business owner's chart, all right, to see whether there's a possibility of designing this strategy. Can you see this again, guys? Same program. Same program. Okay, it's just your application, right? Now, so of course, when I was jobless again, IPO is getting listed, going onto a stock exchange. Okay, like Grab, Uber, Google, Apple. Okay. All right. Yeah. Initial public offering going to get listed. Okay. That's how you 300x, 1000x your net worth. Okay. So when I was jobless again, obviously I will go back to my interest, Bazi, right? So again, back then the Singapore Joe Yap office was like, they have been trying to get me to join their apprenticeship program for the last 2 years, and I kept saying no because I did not have the confidence to help the community. Okay, to help the community. So after doing so much, right, now the Singapore office was no longer nice to me. The manager directly insisted, yelled at me and said, stop being difficult and go and complete your parts of mastery. After that, give me a call. We'll put you on the apprenticeship program immediately. Stop wasting time. This was exactly what they said to me. Okay. So back then I was thinking, is being a consultant really a good decision for me? Okay. So I was thinking, okay, I want to start parts of consulting, but because I've already done 300, 400 charts and people were willing to pay me. So there was an option of me doing this on my own. Okay. And I was going to earn more per consult. Okay. But when I looked at my chart, it was saying something else to me because of the raw wealth energy, guys. Okay. The problem was I looked at my own position and no one knew me. I had no community, no branding, no budget for marketing. I had no systems. I had no team. I was a one-man show. Raw wealth says partnership, right? But I know this guy, right? I know this guy. This guy says, I have an international brand and company and is growing. I have a huge community to serve, and now it's even bigger now, right? And I need more consultants to scale my offerings and serve my community. All right. I need help. All right. Basically, that's what Dato Joey's company has been saying. Okay. And when I looked at the Joyup the consulting group, right? They have existing teams, systems, great marketing budget and activities, right? Multiple departments, and they have a great apprenticeship program. So what do you think I did, guys? I signed an apprenticeship contract. Another name for Rock Wealth is called contract work or part-time work. So I'm not under the Joyup payroll, but I'm a strategic partner via contract. So I'm a contract worker. Okay. So I signed a contract in partnership with Dato Joey's brand, personal brand and company. And we are sharing resources. I am serving their community. They are providing business to me while I'm providing my expertise to service their consults. So why is it called Rock Wealth? Every consult, every activity I do, like teach a class or something, right? I get paid a commission. So the more the Joyup Consulting Group robs me, okay, if I allow them to rob me more, do you think I'll be making more money? Yes or no? Type in the chat. Think about it. All right. If I allow them to rob me more, means I have more work to do. I earn more commission, but they earn more of me. So they are robbing me, isn't it? Right. So, yes. Right. So if I allow them to rob me more, do you think the more people rob me, the more I earn? Yes. Right. Welcome to the world of rock wealth. Okay. Now, a lot of people would say, Kenneth, you can build a $2.4 billion company. You fundraise 1.2 million on your own single-handedly over 3 projects, right? Now you become a consultant and you earn commission. How is that an upgrade? Now, in the Bazi challenge, Dato Joey was talking about breakthrough and then finally transformational, isn't it? Which job in this world allows you to touch thousands of lives because of what you do? Not many. Speakers, consultants, trainers, right? Classroom teachers. So I find myself in a position when I serve an international market, problem solving every single day and providing guidance and clarity to improve people's lives on a daily basis. All right. Right. When I'm able to serve close to 1,000 people, a few thousand, including classes a year. If my career runway is for 10 years, I'll be serving over 10,000 people. I think that this allows me to touch a great number of lives with my expertise. I find this potentially transformational. All right. Again, it's your perspective on this. But to me, I think this is my calling. All right. Yeah. So again, I had to validate whether this decision was correct. So I used the same modules, the information from these modules, right? Parts of career options, very relevant. Okay, raising capital, amplifying your value, and expanding your capacity. And I made a decision to join the Joyup Consulting Group and created a second career on a transformative path. Guys, can you see this? This is again rock wealth energy. How you do something is how you do everything, regardless of level. Okay, regardless of level. How many of you guys enjoy this? Do you have an aha moment now? All right. So your chart is a blueprint, but how you use your chart is dependent on you. It depends on how much effort are you willing to put in more effort, take the tougher path, and conduct yourself at a higher level. Okay. And that's how I came onto the scene in 2020, all right, and became a consultant in 2021. Okay, guys, good? That was how I appeared out of nowhere, all right? Yeah, but obviously, the Singapore office was hunting me down for over 2 years. Okay, so that was what happened. Now, a lot of people say, Kenneth, stop talking about money. Come on, right? We're talking about life here. Life is more than money. Okay, okay. All right, okay. This is my chart again, Rock Wealth Energy. Okay, now, okay, let's not talk about money. Let's talk about love, shall we? All right. Now, I have 100% Rock Wealth Energy. one thing about rock wealth that is not very good for relationship is that because you're a social butterfly, you tend to not give your potential partner a sense of security because you have so many friends, guys and girls, different genders, basically your interests are spread quite thin. All right, because you're a social butterfly. Okay, for me, my size, I just bounce around. I can't fly, right? Yeah. So what happens is that, and then rock wealth at 100%, it also means that we appreciate our friends more than our close ones, right? That means we appreciate our friends more than our family members or even our partners. That's the truth. That's the ugly truth. Okay. That's the negative traits for rock wealth in terms of relationships. Okay. So the thing is this. Okay. So for the longest time, I was never short of girlfriends. I was never short. Okay. But I always failed at converting the girlfriend to my wife. All right, because I was very adamant about my way or the highway. All right, my girlfriend was supposed to be this way. If you marry me, it's going to be that way, right? Because so I was a bit, basically, I was a bit of a chauvinistic pain in the butt, basically. Okay, because that was how I grew up, basically. All right, so I would realize even to 40s, right? I was like in my 40s, I was like, I have no problems finding girlfriend. Okay, but I can't seem to successfully convert them to my wife. That was my problem. Okay. And then when I realized what was my problem, I realized it was the stupid road wealth energy again. It was 100%. It's my way or the highway. All right. Come on. A relationship is a two-way street. It can't just be a one way and you get satisfied and your partner has to be self-sacrificial. It doesn't work that way. It took me a while. Okay, trust me, it took me a while. Okay, so what happened was this. After I realized this, COVID hit. Obviously, when COVID hit, a lot of socializing activities were basically close to zero, right? All the entertainment places, all the socializing locations were all closed. All right, we were trapped at home and all that stuff, right? So it was year 2021. Okay, in Singapore, we had the heightened restriction. That means, there was no point going out, there's nowhere to go. Right? So again, I was bored. Yes, I was doing the usual consults, but I was bored at night, right? So, especially being a past social butterfly, right? So I was bored. So I was lying in bed one day and I just took out my Bazi chart for fun. All right, because I've been reading everybody's chart. It's been a while since I looked at my own chart. All right. So when I looked at my own chart and I saw this, it's the year of the ox, right? It's the year of the ox, and it's going to clash with my goat. Okay. Now I know those of you who are not technical, just listen to me. Yeah. When the ox clashes with the goat, all right, it's going to clash my direct wealth. Direct wealth to a guy is a potential wife. So in my head, I knew that 2021, I had an opportunity to find a potential wife. Okay. This was me lying in bed, looking at my chart and talking to myself, right? Talking to my own, talking in turn with my mind, right? So I was like, okay, but I have a problem. I can't socialize. I can't meet new people. I hated online dating sites because I never participate in those because I find that those are just scams, right? So I like to meet someone face to face, and I need to know somebody long enough before I can be with that person, right? But I knew that 2021 I had a potential. Okay, that was the keyword, potential. Okay, so came October, the month of October. Ooh, the dog. Okay, the month of the dog. The dog would form a hidden combination with my spouse palace. That means I could have started a relationship in times of a lockdown. So what did I do? Okay, this was me reading my chart 7 months ahead of October. Okay, so I knew roughly this time, if I planned it properly, I could get myself into a nice relationship. Okay, to start one during lockdown. So this became a challenge for me. I'm like, okay, it's a lockdown. I can't meet anybody. How am I going to start the relationship? So when I looked at my chart and I just paid attention, who came into my life, who is new that came into my life. Okay, during the lockdown, very few, right? Very few. So you just pay attention to those, easier to spot. All right. So this person, all right, came into my life, and I'm like, okay, I'm like, very young, right? Very large age gap. All right. So we started working together, and it was started off just work. But after a while, work conversations became personal conversations. And personal conversations started to escalate into possibilities. Okay. So I was afraid of my rock wealth again. So I followed the Rockwell formula, give and take. All right. So I started asking her, what do you expect out of a relationship? Because for me, I'm not going to waste time. I'm 40 plus, right? If I want to start a relationship, I want to at least know that I'm starting a relationship with a potential of going towards marriage. That was what I told her. She was like, yes, me too. But I said that I am so much older than you. Are you okay? She was like, I've dated guys around my age and they've always disappointed me. I don't mind dating an uncle. I don't mind dating an uncle. I don't mind dating someone who's much older than me because I think that you can show me the way, all right, in a more mature sense. So I said, okay. So we basically set the ground rules first before being together. Can you see how Rock Wealth works? Rock Wealth is about a win-win situation. That means you come to an agreement. So we set the agreement first before we started being together, so that we are all on the same page with the same expectations. All right. Along the way, we'll readjust, but it's generally we have set the arrangement, the agreement before we started dating. So we started dating, and everything went so smooth. All right. And last year in 2023 November, we got married. So this is my relationship miracle story. Okay, because based on my chart, if you read my chart based on relationship, if you get a traditional master, a traditional, those guys sitting outside the temple, gray hair, and they read it the most traditional sense, I was never going to get married. Okay, I had so much problems trying to find a relationship that could lead to marriage. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So this is how you use Bazi to change your life. So even though I became a consultant, I'm still consistently using the knowledge that I got. Okay. Understanding the 10 gods, the basics. All right. How you do something is how you do everything, guys. No matter whether it's for money, relationship, health, whatever it is going to lead you to higher places as long as you have clarity on how to use your profiles. Okay, guys. Okay, Viv is asking, why do you say that the old school people? Because, okay, those of you who can read Barter charts in a technical way, my direct wealth is inside, is buried underground, basically. Okay, it's in what we call the graveyard animal sign. That means my wife is hard to discover, or in the most traditional reading, late, very, very late marriage, because it takes a very long while to dig my wife out from the ground. Okay, so my wife was always trapped underground. So in the year of the ox, when the clash happened, everything that was hidden underground gets exposed. That's how my wife had a chance to be exposed to me. Okay, and that was how she appeared in my real life. Okay, so this is for you to understand the technical side. But of course, again, the clashes is part of the 5 catalysts, remember? Okay, where it's going to disrupt, right? For me, I was going through a dry spell of trying to convert my girlfriend to my wife. Okay, so when the disruptor came in, it changed it. It changed the possibility to yes instead of no. Okay. Of course, when she was clashed out of the ground, I have to wash her up a bit first because she was covered in soil and mud. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And she was from another country. All right. Because my wife's star is in the year, which means it's further away from my hometown, right? It's further away from me. Right. So that's why she's from Malaysia. I'm from Singapore. Right. So that's how I figured out that I had a potential wife after learning Bazi over and over again. Yeah, exactly. My wife's from Malaysia, right? And I'm from Singapore. So I found her overseas during a lockdown when we can't socialize. Can you imagine that? All right. This is the power of Bazi, guys. And I got all this knowledge because of that one program that I spent half of my bank account on. All right. That was called Grow Rich with Bazi. Today it's been repackaged into one of the most successful signature programs of Datuk Joey Yap called Bazi Academy. All right. And this is how Bazi Academy saved my life, saved my family's lives. And I would like to sincerely, personally extend another thank you to Datuk Joey Yap and Team Joey Yap. And thank God for the online course of Bazi Academy to give me a new chance in life again. And I'll be eternally grateful. All right. Yeah. Okay. So, guys, how you do something is how you do everything. Okay. Now, this is as real as it gets. Get your life's biggest questions answered, based on what I've just shared with you guys since 2017 to this very till last year when I got married. Okay, a lot of the information came from this program. Okay, and the best part about this program is a lifetime access. No replay nonsense, whatever. You can revisit it anytime you want. Till this very day, sometimes when I have some questions or when I need further validation, I will go back to this program, look at certain modules, and get one or two answers from there. All right, because sometimes when you practice for so long, right, you tend to forget some basic principles. Okay, and this is the lifetime access. Okay, now guys, remember, why do we do this, right? Why Bazi, right? Bazi basically is the blueprint of your life. So basically, these are the four main areas that you can do for yourself. Discover yourself. Did I discover myself? Did I discover how to deal with my rock wealth? I definitely did. If not till this very day, at the age of 45, I'll still be very disappointed with life. Okay, and I still have no money. Okay, master the art of people, right? I know how to deal with people. I know how to collaborate and build a $2.4 billion company, and I know how to deal with my wife, my potential partner, right? Create unparalleled transformation. Did I do that? I definitely did that. Did I open new doors? Oh, did I open new doors, guys? Right? So this is not a marketing slide. This is basically what we have witnessed, what this program can do for us. Okay? These are all the modules, the precious modules that I revisit once in a while, right? Despite being a consultant already. Okay. And this is a wealth of information, 14 modules. Okay, for US $2,000. Okay. This is, if you ask me, right, when I emptied half my bank account, okay, for this program, this was the best investment I've ever made in my life. Okay, and based on the stories that I shared with you guys can see why. Okay, how can I be sure that I can learn and practice it correctly? The main thing is, as long as you practice, even if you don't practice it correctly, through the mistakes you still learn. So there's no way of losing. All right, did you think that I did everything correctly? I tried, failed, saw the reality of it, and then I learned the right thing. Okay, Yofeng, right? Yeah. Okay. Now, this is the part that pisses me off. Guys, remember I did close to 400 charts just to understand these 10 guys. And then how many years has it been? So for 7 years later, Dato Joey comes up with the Bazi 10 Gods Masterclass. Thanks a lot. Okay. Yeah. So now he just gave you the information that it took me 2 years to discover. Okay, and he's going to give you a lifetime access of this brilliant 10 Gods Masterclass. To me, this is the best information that can allow you to find. Thai person can learn, well, it's in English. All right, it's in English. So, and because it's a lifetime access, okay, so you can slowly, if you have a translating software that you can play in the background, it's okay. Okay, because it's a lifetime access, so time is a luxury that you have. Thai person definitely can learn. Okay, definitely can learn. We don't use complicated English. It's all very basic English. All right, and if you have the heart to learn this, it's simple translation. Okay, and this program will always be with you for a lifetime. Okay, so definitely. Okay, as long as you're willing to put in the effort, you definitely can learn it. Okay, trust me, I suck at studying. Okay. And if I can do this, okay, as long as you put in the hard work, you are going to realize it. It's not that hard. Okay. Okay, now this is the best part. Okay, I told the team to give me a write up of this 10 gods because I was very curious myself. All right, this was the part that caught me. It's called actionable insights. There's a difference between teaching you in theory and there's a difference in telling you what to do. Do you agree, guys? Knowing what to do is priceless. Okay, as compared to a whole library of theory, because actionable means you're able to execute it in real life and it's going to give you real life examples. Okay, and this 10 gods masterclass is the ultimate guide for you guys to understand 八字 in every single way, because no matter how far you proceed with your 八字 journey, you still have to go back to the 10 gods. It's one area that you can never do without. So if you can master the 10 gods, you master 八字. All right. And 7 years later, here it is. Okay, lifetime access as well. Okay, so your learning and your realization will slowly evolve and mature over time while revisiting this information, and you will see new things as you go on. All right, this was how I learned it. This was what I witnessed myself going through. Okay, and I'm very very sure that this will do the same effect for you as well. Okay, do we get these online bonuses upon signing up, or is it drip released to us? Okay, those that are lifetime access should be, you are going to get the bonuses straight away. Okay, if I'm not wrong. Okay, this one the team would have to confirm. Okay, the team would have to confirm. Okay, the programs, all of us would have a student's dashboard. That means you will have a login to a portal. Okay, that's called your student's dashboard, and the programs that you purchase will be in there. So you just play it. Just play the program on your student's dashboard. You're going to get an email to tell you what's your login and the link as well. All right. All right. Now, this is the one, Bazi Academy. Okay, Bazi Academy, this is your, I paid 1997 just for the academy. Now you pay 1997 for the academy, 10 gods, core identity atlas, Bazi coaching framework. Remember, I did 400 charts just to develop my own coaching framework. Now, Dato Joey is going to give it to you. Pisses me off, but congratulations, guys. Okay, we're going to give you the Bazi beginners fast track workshop. Those of you who say, oh, I'm a total beginner, I'm not sure whether I can do this, the fast track program will set the foundation for you. And of course, you will have a ticket to a live or virtual live stream for the Bazi Academy, okay, done by Dato Joey himself. Okay, 7 years ago, I paid 1997 just for one standalone program. Today, you pay 1997 for a program and the other whole lot of bonuses. This is deflationary pricing while the whole world faces inflation, guys. If you don't take this, you must be crazy. All right. Now, again, I'm saying this not because I earn a commission. I don't earn anything, regardless whether you sign or you don't sign. But it's a personal endorsement. And the reason why I'm sharing with you guys, because this is how powerful this program is. All right. And since it has changed my life and a few lives of many others, that's why this becomes one of their signature, most successful online program ever recorded. Okay, guys. Okay. Of course, those of you who says, I believe this is going to help me, but this is not enough. Give me the full package, including the kitchen sink. Then please join us for the Bazi Mastery Circle. Okay, this T-shirt says it all. Okay, we did the first Bazi Mastery Circle last year. Okay, it was a success, and now through experience, it's going to be an improved version. All right, it's going to be an offshore. Last year we did it in Phuket, in one of those five-star resort places in Phuket. We had a great time. It was a gathering of like-minded people. All right, and we shared case studies, things that goes beyond. If you like what I'm sharing with you guys, then you will love this, because that's what we call dealing with real case studies. That's when life gets real. All right, that's the Bazi Mastery Circle. And of course, you will be entitled to the Bazi Academy Advanced Track as well, group coachings as well, and multiple bonuses. Okay, now, If you do the Bazi Academy alone, it's US 1997. If you do the extended mastery circle, Bazi Mastery Circle, you get the academy and a lot more. Okay, VIP tickets to the Bazi Academy Live, Bazi for the Soul, that's the spiritual side of Bazi. You get the advanced track, and you get to join us in the Bazi gathering, the Sun, Sea, and Bazi in an offshore island, beachside resort, most likely. We are not sure where is it. It might be in Thailand, it might be in Bali, no idea, but it's going to be great. Take it as a gathering of like-minded people. All right, because this is a community that you do not want to miss. Okay, now this is one-time payment US 2,997 for the extended package, or you can opt for the 297 per month repayment plan for 12 months. Now, if you think this is a bit of a stretch and you're saying that nah, I'm not really interested in the extended package, then please do consider the US 1997. This was the biggest and the best investment of my life. I would dare say to this, and I'm 45. All right. This saved not just my life, but the people that I love around me. And I found the love of my life, okay, using certain information and knowledge. Okay. Back then, I only paid for item number 1, which was a Bazi Academic Classic. That was all I got. And of course, I was given a free ticket to speak on stage. That was the live event, all right? But today, you're given everything else, especially the 10 Gods Masterclass, which is the information that you need to live and breathe if you want to practice Bazi. This is the ultimate encyclopedia and guide that you need for Bazi. Okay, no matter who you learn from, no matter how far your Bazi journey will be. All right, the 10 Gods Masterclass is something that is definitely not overrated. It's something that you must have. It's the Bible. All right. Okay. All right. So again, if you just want the basic, all right, but it's very sufficient. I say basic, but it's super sufficient. It's way more than what I got, and it definitely shortens your learning time. It took me 3 years to intensively learn this. Go and do 400 free consults to find out information that is being given to you today. All right. So my personal endorsement, okay, not paid advertising. This is one of the best investments you can make if you appreciate Bazi and you want to understand how to have more control over your lives and how to improve your life over time, because it definitely has improved mine. All right, I'm a living proof for you guys to see. All right. Now, the enrollment will close at 11:59 on the 26th of March. Those of you who have been on the fence, please take this opportunity, okay? Because because when I tell you guys about the bonuses, my blood boils because I did not get this privilege to enjoy so much good stuff at the same price, okay? And I cleared half my bank account, but I never regretted it, all right? And now I've restarted my earning capacity. I found the love of my life. All right. I've even improved my health. All right, using Bazi. Okay. Yes. Yes. Like you, Yok Fong, can you help with health matters? Well, if you understand the essence of Bazi, right, you definitely knows that there will be a health component. Okay. It might not give you all the answers. Okay, but it can help you it can help you in your efforts in trying to break bad habits, or just say improve your health, and maybe even teach you where to focus on your health. All right, so yeah, so Bazi can definitely help you in 3 main areas: wealth, which is your career or your business; relationships, which is like your romantic relationships or your family relationships, including your working relationships; and definitely health matters as well. So 3 main areas. Yes. Okay. Yeah, guys. Okay. Yes. All right. You don't. You well. You, as Dato Joey always says, right? Hear me now, believe me later. Okay. So I'm telling you guys as well, right? I have shown you what I've done for myself, living proof since 2017 till now, and I'm still achieving small breakthroughs every single year. All right, to the point now my Bazi knowledge has started to evolve into my own observations, and last year I successfully taught my own course, okay, on Bazi as well. Okay, so please, everything starts from here, and as you go through the information and the course, you will also realize, oh my god, right, this is like different techniques, plug and play sometimes as well, for you to just achieve baby milestones in your life. Okay. What is the difference between numerology and Bazi? Well, Bazi is a solar system that talks about Chinese astrology. The other is another school of using numbers to tell your destiny, to tell your character. But we don't do that. Okay, we don't do that, and we don't go into the arguments of who is better. Basically, whatever that helps you is good for you. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. So, those of you who want to join, please don't wait, right? We are going to close in 3 days' time. Okay. You snooze, you lose. All right. And you have to wait another, if I'm not wrong, 14 to 16 months before this comes back. Now, again, if this is your lunch money, you don't have to be as crazy as me. But back then, I knew I was getting desperate. Okay. Now, if this is your lunch money and if you think that this is just out of interest, it doesn't help you in your predicament, you are not in any desperate situation, maybe you can wait for a year because it's your lunch money. So I think survival is better for you. But for those of you who can afford it, but you're not sure whether this is going to do something for you, look at me. All right. If it can save my life, it can definitely benefit yours. Remember, guys, how you do something is how you do everything. Take the leap of faith and you will achieve breakthroughs in life. Okay, guys? All right. On this note, my name is Kenneth Wong. Thank you so much, guys, for spending close to 2 hours with me on a Saturday night. You could have been drinking, having fun, family gatherings, but you chose to spend over an hour with me. And on that note, I am very, very grateful. My name is Kenneth Wong again, and thank you very much, guys. Have a good night, and I'll see you in class.